today we got another episode. We got another good episode for y'all today. Um, yes, we got a good we got an episode. It's episode six. Um, episode six. I was gonna make this about Ja. Because everybody, that's the hot topic, this week since last week or whatever the case might be. But I wanted to dive in a little deeper. I didn't want to make this make this just about Ja, right? I wanted to get into a deeper conversation. Um, that what I seen from when I was growing up to now. I think a lot of people, I know Ja, did something creative, but but I'm not gonna be the one to like just climb on top of him, like just bash him or whatever, right? That I think is a deeper conversation that need to be had that I don't think people touching on. But I'm going to do that today, right? And to me, I'm gonna say this: the youth as a whole, right? Our youth got to do better, right? And for me, I think it starts with home, right? I think it starts with home. I think it starts with us as parents, right? When they're younger, um, stuff like that, right? Because I remember, um, or before I start, man, make sure you like and subscribe, ring the notification bell for my YouTube. If you're on Apple, it's 163 the Real Podcast, man. Whatever you get your podcast from, you can find it. So my bad on that. Road to 100 subs over here. And shout out to Germany and the US and other places too. I was watching my audience and stuff like that. So shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. I will be dropping more content for y'all. So there you have it. But let's get back to it. I remember when I was a kid growing up. When I was like, anybody's in their 30s, our childhood was a little bit different, right? Um, Anybody like in their 30s and up, our childhood for the most part was good, right? Because when we was growing up, you know, um, ass whoopings was a big part of our lives, especially if you were 80s baby, early 90s. You know, our parents came from that old school law, ass whoopings by the by the highest power, right? So we had that structure, right? And I'm from Centerville, right? Due to why I call it the Ville Centerville, and so when I was growing up as a kid, and a lot of people that I grew up with, and anybody of grew up in the '80s and the early '90s, we all can have this conversation, right? We was able to be kids, right? We was able to be kids. We didn't have the pressure of social media. Um, we were able to just enjoy being kids, right? We were able to just enjoy being kids. The most thing we ever did was like, get in trouble in school for the most part. Like nothing too bad to where get somebody hurt or whatever. But we was able to be kids. And if we did something wrong, we got disciplined, whether that was getting on your knees, getting a whooping, getting things, taken from you or being punished, all of the above, right? At the same time. We was able to be kids. We didn't have the see like me. I'm 37, so I'm young enough to see when social media um, was coming up, and I'm old enough to understand where it's at now, and what's the difference from the early social media to now, right? From the early stages of social media to now, the way it is what it is, right? We was kid. We was able to just be kid. We didn't have the pressure of social media telling us as kids how we supposed to be, how we supposed to act, or if you don't have this or that, right? I mean, we had, kids used to get picked on because of sneakers and different things of that nature. But when I was in school, I didn't see nobody get clowned because of that. I don't think I did. I don't, we were just all growing up as kids and just happy to be in school, just happy to be kids and just playing our favorite sports and going over out to our friends' houses and playing on the game, and just enjoying each other company, right? Fast forward now, Kids don't kids don't go to each other's houses no more, right? They talk on the phone. Um, you know, they don't go to each other's house. They just talk on the phone, or they don't even go outside. And mama, like we was like during the summertime, we couldn't wait for the summer. It used to be like 120 degrees outside, and we'd be outside riding our bikes, playing basketball. I'm talking about the sun. Like I'm talking about the sun is so hot you can see. It's like you in the desert, or like you was watching a cowboy film. You seen the little heat wave just going across your face from how hot it was. Like we used to be outside cold. We used to be outside like when it winter time. We used to go outside and play basketball. We used to put on like a hoodie and just shoot basketball and just play or ride bikes up and down the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? And kids don't do that today, right? Because the social media is taking over, right? And I feel like as parents, we have to do a better job as, monitoring things, right? Um, Even as kids growing up, listen, I grew up listening to hip hop music. I grew up listening to hip. I grew up listening to, I'm a kid, you all this other stuff, right? But not one time as kids we wanted to go do those things, right? We just took it for listening to it and just enjoying music, right? And my dad was so strict. 'Cause I remember the first album that I ever got. My mama had bought it from me. Mama had bought it from me. It was G Code Juvenile. It was the cassette tape though. Got it from the mall out there in home. I was happy. I should listen to it, listen to it, listen to it. I get back home to my dad. He heard me listening to it, and he heard cursing. Right, and he took the tape and the little brown tape thing inside. He snapped it in half, and I was heartbroken. But me being the smart man that I am, all I did was just take it out the trash. You know, tie a knot into it, and and went on back and play it. Then when it got to that certain spot of the tape, I just had to put my fingers in the little hole and then pass by and then get back to listen to it. But that's how my daddy was. He was a parent first. He didn't allow us to do stupid things. He didn't want to listen to rap music, even though I still snuck and listened to hip hop. I still listen to like I'm a hip hop head. Like I listen to young old hip hop. I listen to the rappers today. Like I love hip hop, but um I never wanted to go do those things. I never wanted to, um, what you call them. And it's so, and now I see us as parents, we wanna blame rappers for our kids acting like this. For one, you can't. First of all, rap has always been adult driven, right? It's always been adult content. It's not suitable for kids. Even though I was listening to it, right? And I try my hardest not to listen to rap music around my son, even though I know he gonna listen to it anyway, right? My son listens to NBA YoungBoy. He's a big NBA YoungBoy fan, but I explained to him that what you hear on this music, you don't do that. Like this is wrong. Like this is not how life is supposed to be, right? This music. This is not real. Don't go out here and do stupid stuff, right? I think it starts at home and educating your kids and educating. You can't blame rappers and singers. You can't blame people like Cardi B, because your kid not supposed to be listening to that music, right? They're not supposed to. It's explicit. They tell you like when you buy an album or you on Apple Music, you listen and look at the album, whatever. It says explicit. It's not made for kids. So you get mad at these artists for making music. It's not for your kids. It's for you to listen to. Like your kids decide to go listen to that, then it's your fault as a parent because your job is to protect your kid. Our job is to protect our kids, right? I can't sit there and blame NBA YoungBoy for the because of the stuff that my son is doing at school if he was cutting up. Nah, that starts at home. Your kids are young enough so you can discipline them in a rightful manner. You can teach them right from wrong while you still have the chance, right? You can't blame artists. You can't sit here and blame basketball players that they make mistakes, right? A lot of times we like to, not making excuses for rap, but rappers, artists in general, right? They are not meant to be our kids' role model, right? We supposed to be our kid role model. Our kids supposed to want to grow up and be like us to a certain extent, right? Like being good people, being good human beings, being respectful. Like that's what they should try to be and do better than us as far as getting jobs, getting education, going to college, doing these, doing that, right? That's what we as parents should do. Like our neighborhood raised us, right? When our parents was at work, our neighborhood. Lucky for me, I grew up in Centerville where everybody was family. Down Roy Lane, everybody was family. So my daddy worked. We had family, aunties, uncles, um, that would stay on, older cousins. Like I would hang around. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it always that's how I was as a kid. Nowadays, these kids don't have that opportunity to be kids right now as we speak, right? These kids got to grow up faster than what they're supposed to. They can't really enjoy being a kid, and I think it's not fair, right? And I feel like as parents, as a community, we have to do better by our kids, right? We can't sit here and blame rappers. That's the easy way. That's the easy way out. We can't blame rappers um for the stuff that our kids do, right? That starts at home first, right? It's just like blaming teachers because your kid can't read and write that good. At the end of the day, you you have your kids more time than the teachers, right? You're supposed to, when your kid get home from school, help them further their education. Also, you can't just be lazy and just put it all on the teacher. It's the same thing with music. You can't sit there and blame rap artists that's cursing and all this other stuff and blame it on them because you don't want to parent. Cause that's what it is, right? We want to blame artists, we want to blame athletes because we want to be lazy because we don't want to parent. That's what it boils down to, right? That's what it boils down to. I'm gonna call it how I see it. We got lazy. Because let me tell you something. I don't care. My mom worked two jobs. My daddy worked two jobs. I don't care. They still had time to parent. They didn't make no excuses when they had to work, and they still had time to parent. They still had time. They worked and still had time to discipline us, put us on the right path of life, and get us prepared for this world, right? Our parents back then wasn't lazy. Us, we are lazy, right? We want social. We get mad when they do stuff. We let our kids have Instagram. We let our kids have TikTok. They need to look at the internet. They get to do things we don't want to parent. We get late. We got lazy, like especially this new generation, like especially young parents like myself in our 30s. We all lazy into parenting, right? We just got lazy. We ain't nothing compared to our, and we always like to complain. Oh man, how my mom and dad raised us. It was wrong, but it worked, right? People that was parented like me, not all of us is in jail, uh, robbing, hurting for anything, doing wrong by people. No, the way my dad, like when I was young, I used to blame my daddy for a lot of stuff. My mama, it was just hard on us. But I thank them both. God bless my dad. Because I'm not out here robbing. I'm not out here stealing. Um, I'm not out here doing dumb stuff to people, right? And that's all due to parenting. As a community, we got to stop getting lazy. And even back then, you was able to tell your kids something, right? Somebody in the neighborhood was able to tell your kids something. The parent didn't get mad. The parent actually whooped your ass when you got home because they heard it from somebody else you was cutting up. Nowadays, you tell somebody kids something, they want to fight. They go to school and disrespect the teachers. You can't ban that on hip hop because your kid go to school disrespecting that teacher and fighting the teacher. Nah, that got something to do with you because you have your kids thinking that it's okay to talk back to grown up because you don't want to parent. Like your kid listen to hip hop all day and then you don't parent at all. And then we want to get mad at the teacher when the teacher hit your kid back. Let me tell you something. If I was a teacher and the kid hit me, I'm gonna knock their ass off, and I have to suffer the consequences as they come. Because at the end of the day, everything starts at home. Everything starts in your community, starts at home, starting in the foundation, right? We as parents got to do better by our kids because we not. We getting lazy. We want, they be on social media all day. We don't tell our kids to go outside, right? I'm even guilty of that. I don't tell my son to go outside. I let him be on his tablet all day and play the game all day, which is fine. But go outside and get some fresh air. Go outside and play. Go outside and play basketball. Go do what little kids do, right? Stay off of social media, YouTube, because that's what's really influencing our kids. And we not doing nothing about it because once again, we want to be lazy parents, right? That's what we want to do. We don't want to take the responsibilities and raise our kids, right? And then they want to make excuses about working and all this other stuff, which is cool. You got to work, but at the same time, remember what the sacrifice that our parents made for us, right? And I remember, like I said, I listened to hip hop. I had OGs in my life to show me the right way, right? While your kids are still underneath your roof, your kids from the ages from the first time they're born until they 18 years old and get out your house, is our responsibility, right? Now, when I got out my daddy's house, I made mistakes, right? Made a lot of them. I made decisions in my that I'm not proud of. But I'm not going to blame. For one, I'm not going to blame hip hop. because hip hop didn't tell me to go out there and do some of the things that I was doing out there, right? I don't condone what I did, and I changed because of that. But hip hop didn't, rap music didn't tell me to go do these things that that I was doing out here. My parents didn't. My parents raised me damn good, right? They were strict as hell. I'm not gonna lie, they were strict as hell. But at the end of the day, they raised us, right? They disciplined us when we needed it, right? And so I can't when you become a grown adult, right? You cannot blame your parents for the mistakes that you make as an adult. Now, if you was a young man, a kid still in like junior high, high school, making mistakes, okay, that's on the parents, right? Because you got to do, you got to keep you can keep, you got to keep better eyes on your kids, right? I've been, I'm a father. I got an 18-year-old, I got a 9-year-old, right? I'll be damned if my kids get out of becoming an adult and they 19 and 20 years old. I'm gonna be blamed for the mistake that they made. That's a damn lie. That's a lie. I'm not listen. I'm not getting blamed for any of that. Because I raised my kids the best way I could. I told them right from wrong. I told them don't do this. I didn't taught them. You know what I'm saying? And so if they go out there and decide what I told them is not right for them, they want to go out there and make mistakes and do dumb shit, then guess what? That is on them. I cannot be saying they can't come at me and say, well, you raised your kid. No. You become an adult, you do what you want, right? I can't control. You can't control what your kids do when they leave out the house when they become adults. They on their own. They're gonna make their own decisions, right? Whether that's good or bad, whatever decisions they make, that is on them. We just hope that the decisions that they make do not put them in a hole, right? And so I see a lot of people want to blame Ja parents. Ja is 23 years old. I hate this word, kid. He's not a kid. Once you old enough to drink, you got to be 21. Once you're old enough to, to drink alcohol, you are not a kid. You are a grown ass man, right? You are a grown ass man. You can't blame Ja dad because his son making decisions as a grown man. That's not his daddy's fault. I'm pretty sure his daddy did teach him right from. I'm pretty sure he did come from a good household because if he didn't come from a good household, he wouldn't have made it to the NBA. He wouldn't have went to college if he didn't have good parenting. He had to be good parents. We got to think about it. We got to think about what we say, right? Because if he wasn't raised right, he wouldn't have been in the position he's in right now. As far as making it to going to college, making it to the NBA, becoming a multi-millionaire, becoming a young man that can be able to help take care of his family. If he did not do those things, if he didn't have good parenting, you'll never be able to succeed like that, right? And that's nothing but God and good parenting, right? So you can't blame his dad. Look at his dad because his dad on the sideline having fun. What you want the man to do? He go to the stadium. He gonna dance and he gonna have fun and clown. That's what he's supposed to do. Just because you have kids, don't take away if you can't have fun in life. You can't enjoy the basketball game. You can't stand up and have fun and dance, which is not hurting anybody, right? You know, and so we got to be mindful of that, right? We can't blame his parents. We can't sit there and blame the artist because of what Ja did, right? Ja is old enough to understand what he did. You can't blame the parents. You can't blame the artist because it starts with the person. When you're young, it starts with the parents. It starts with how you was raised and how you came up. And then when you become a grown man, you have to make decisions. You have to make wise decisions, right? If you to get in trouble for the same thing twice, to me, I think it's crazy. Yeah, some people say he did break the law. He didn't break the law. But uh just like the NBA has their own rules that you got to follow, right? You got to follow you got rules that you got to follow. Just like in certain states, weed or is weed or is legal, right? You can smoke weed, but some jobs you cannot. And that's just the nature of the beast. You can't get mad at your job because first of all, you took it. You took the job, right? Took the job, you gotta abide by it or don't get paid. And so that's just the fact, right? We gotta hold us parents accountable. You can't sit there and blame artists, especially when your kids live underneath your roof, right? You can't blame people like Lil Durk, NBA Young Boy, or Cardi B, and Young Man and them, and they talking about horn and all this other. You cannot blame these people because they make adult content right? If they wanted to be little kids role model, they would have been, they would have went on Nickelodeon or whatever and make kid music. They make adult music for our ears only, not for your little 4 year old, not for your little 7 and 9 year old. No, 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 no. They make music for our ears, for us to listen to. So you cannot blame artists for making music for an adult. Now I can sit there and see if they say, well, this is a kid, I make music for kids, and they sitting up there cursing and doing all that. Then yes, you got a gripe. Then yes. But that's not what they're doing. As parents, we got to stop being lazy. Parent, raise our kids, stop looking for excuses, and just do what we have to do. At the end of the day, it start with us. It start with us parents first. It start with us first, raising our kids, and then when they become adults, their mistakes is not our fault. Cause I'll be down if my kids make a mistake and somebody make me feel bad about it. No, no, no. I'm always be there for my kids and help them the best way I can. But when they become an adult, their mistakes are their own. Because you should have known better. Because I didn't raise you like that. I didn't raise you to do dumb stuff. Now, granted, I did dumb stuff that I'm not proud of. I didn't made a lot of mistakes, but I'm not gonna blame it on my family, my mom and dad. I'm not gonna blame it on rap music that I grew up listening to, right? Rap music, when I listen to rap music, it made me want to go out there and kill nobody. It didn't make me want to go out there and hurt nobody when I listened to it. No, I enjoyed it for what it was. And for one, I'm not no gangster. I'm not no gangster at all. I like my freedom. Listen, I don't know about y'all. I like coming and going as I go. I don't want to be around no hard legs all day. No, 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 no. I want to be around a woman. You hear me? And that's just the way it is. Like I don't. We gotta stop. We gotta stop being lazy as parents, especially this new generation of parents, such as myself and so many others. We gotta do a better job as parenting and stop it. You know what I'm saying? Because I see so many times on social media when they got these little 4 year old girls and their mama got them listening to Turk music, got them twerking. That to me, certain people don't need to be no parents. I'm sorry. That is trifling. You got a 45 year old girl, you got your daughter out there twerking off of bounce music that's supposed to be for adults and grown women to shake. Not no little 4, 5 year old child. You got them twerking, you think that's cute. Or you got your kids cursing at adults, and then when they go to school and curse kids or curse the teacher, and you want to bust their ass. No, 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 no. That was your trifling behind that did that. You don't want to be trifling and ghetto and have your daughter out there twerking on the video and think that's cute, which is not. You know what I'm saying? These kids not able to be kids because you got trifling parents is not allowing them to be so. They want them. I don't. It's disgusting. When my daughter was a baby, I never thought about having putting on a video twerking and all that. Never, never. Man, that's trifling. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not cute, man. Some parents, like I said, some parents they need to get their kids taken away. That's what you need to do. And then they get mad if somebody say, hey, man, what you're doing is wrong. They didn't want to get upset. They want to get mad. They want to, you trifling. Point blank, period. And so, like I said, we got to do better as parents with these kids, with these youngsters. And when they get older, as parents, whenever your kid make a mistake, you cannot feel like you failed them because at the end of the day, all we can do is raise them to the best of our ability and make sure when they go out there in this world, everything that you taught them, they take it into, right? And hope that they do right in this world. After that, because after you raise them and they graduate out of high school and they go to college or go to whatever they go do, at the end of the day, we done did our job. We gonna always parent. That's just the way it is. We gonna always parent, always want the best for our kid because we will never stop being a parent. But when they start getting grown, start making their own decisions, and sometimes they're gonna be bad or good. At the end of the day, you can't blame yourself because you did the best you can, right? You did the best you can. And that's just where I'm at with it. I didn't come up here to just um bash Ja Morant and make this about Ja because it's deeper than that. It's deeper. Social media is raising these babies now. They're not going outside. They're not playing. They sit up there listening at Instagram and Facebook and making Facebook. Man, first of all, your kid got these cell. I didn't get a cell phone until I was, and I know times has changed, right? But I'm still old school to a certain extent. I didn't get a cell phone until I think my junior year in high school. you know. And I need kids that's 4, 5 years old with cell phones, and and they get to go on make Facebooks and all this other stuff, and it's crazy. These kids can literally go on social media and look at shit that's inappropriate for them, and then we get mad when our kids go to school and do dumb stuff. No, it's our fault. We gotta take responsibilities for that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's I don't know. It's just it's just crazy, man. We just got to do a better job as parents. Like seriously, we got to do a better job as parents. We got to just you know we just got to do a better job, man. Point blank period. You got to do a better job. But other than that, though, man, what Ja did was it stupid? Yes, because they just told you about it and you do it again, right? Um, you know, a lot of people blaming his friends. A lot of people blaming his daddy, which is stupid because he's 23 years old. He's not 15. He's not 14 years old. He's 23 years old with a daughter, right? And you would think when you have a kid, you would think more clearly, right? You would think more reasonable, make better decisions when you have kids, especially when you got a daughter, right? You want to make better decisions. And what Ja did, and you can see, and you watch the video, you can see his homeboy try to hurry up and put it down. Like you can see that, but it was too late, right? It's like he needs some people around him that will get on this, like stay on his ass, right? If I know if one of my friends, right, one of my family members, and I'm in the crew, and he is the breadwinner, like he's the boss, he's the one that's looking out for people and giving people jobs and putting people in place to be successful. You would think his friends was like, do everything in their power to be like, don't do this, bro. Like, don't do. Because I know if I had family members or even me, I know people that I hang around with tell me, hey man, chill out, but don't do that. You're doing dumb stuff, man. Like you're being real corny out here. Like, don't do this, don't do that. I know I got people in my circle that would tell me that about myself. They would tell me, man, what you're doing is you're doing some duck shit. Like, I know people would tell me that to me. Like I got people that would tell it, that say that to me. And that's what type of friends he need. He need friends that going to hold, that's going to like really, whether y'all get into an argument or not, you need to get a friend that gonna be like, hey, bro, don't do that shit, man. Like, chill out, bro. Like, what you're doing is not productive. You're gonna hurt yourself. Like, you need friends that's not gonna support his activity because obviously in that video, his homeboy was supporting his activity. And we all know as boys, we are all childish, immature, got to grow up. At the end of the day, we got to make better decisions. You was an athlete. You don't, eyes would always be on you. Even when you sleep, and they would always have eyes on you. So my advice for Ja would be just simple. Just do better, man. Like, think before you do this. Like, think before you react. Think before you do. Think the stuff that you like how it affect people around you when you make the decisions that you make. Think about you and foremost, think about your daughter. Think about the impact that it will have on your child. Damn everybody else, what the impact is gonna have on your child? You out here acting like this and you losing money. So not only you losing money, you taking food out your mouth, you taking food out your daughter's mouth. Damn, like forget about your parents and your homeboys, your cousins, and everything else. Your team, dang on that. Think about the stuff that you're doing to your child because you got a chance to make generational wealth to where your daughter's kids can be able to eat off it for the rest of their lives. Think about the food that you're taking out your daughter's mouth. Think about the stuff that you could be doing extra for your daughter and stuff like that. That's what you have to keep in mind. Every decision that you make, think about your child first. Think about your little girl, man, and see if I make this, if I do this, and I know I know when I listen to music, man, I be in the zone, I get in the zone, I get it, I get it. But you gotta be, and me personally, after I didn't got in trouble behind a gun, I don't even want to see a gun. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I got in trouble for a gun, I don't even want to see a gun. I don't want to see a gun, look at a gun. I don't want to water gun, a toy gun, or I don't want no guns. I'm gonna stay far away from guns as I can. You know what I'm saying? And that's how my mind frame would be. If I had friends, I wouldn't even put I wouldn't even put John in a situation to where he even gotta pick a gun. John would be so mad if I would want to John homeboy. He would be so mad at me, to where he wouldn't even want me to have me around no more. That's how close I would be to keeping my eyes on John. He just gotta put better people that's gonna put. He need to put people around him that's gonna hold him accountable and not allow him to do stupid stuff, whether if it's legal or unlegal. However, he need friends. I got friends like that. They gonna hold me accountable. They're not gonna let me out here doing dumb stuff, and that's it. That's what y'all need. That's what y'all need. I'm not gonna go too hard on him. I seen some people. Yeah, he didn't break a law. He didn't. He like JJ Records 100%. He didn't break no law. He didn't. Right, but he broke an NBA law. They got their own rules. They got their own regulations. So he got to obey by those rules. And if you don't like the rules, then don't play basketball. If you wanna be an average person, to me personally, I think it's corny anyway. When I see people on social media flashing money and showing a gun, to me I think it's corny. Cause we don't care if you have a gun. So what, you got a gun? To me that's corny. I never was the type of person to want to show no gun or smoke weed on the camera and think that's like, to me that is childish and immature and it's goofy and it's idiotic. I don't want nobody to know that if I smoke weed, and it's not cool. It's not cool. It's not. I'm not gonna flash no guns on no social media because that's stupid. I don't see the meaning of that. And then what you're gonna do is bring unwanted attention to yourselves because they got people out there that really like that. Like you want to show guns, they gonna have people out there. They gonna test you. Like let's see. I want show me that you about that life. They got people out there that will test you, and you live in Memphis. Them people, we know how Memphis get down. People not about to play with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody and God forbid that don't happen. Somebody was to rob you, they know you got a gun on you. They're not gonna even ask you. They're gonna shoot you first. And I pray to God that don't happen. But you bring unwanted attention because they really got people out here that first of all envy you because you got something they don't, and they feel like you're showing up. They're jealous or whatever the case might be. Yeah, they want to see. They want to see if we really about that, Jock. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see none of these young folks getting killed no more, man. It's just crazy. But stop bringing unwanted attention. You flashing these guns on social media, man. You bring unwanted attention. See me, I'm low key. I don't really do too much at all. I don't go to clubs. I don't put myself in situations to put myself in jeopardy of anything stupid. And like I said once again, I understand about young people. I was young once. I was 23. I was doing dumb shit. I was doing things that I'm not proud of. Right? I get it. But at the end of the day, you got to think about the bigger picture, especially when you rich, especially rich people. Because people like us don't understand because we're not rich. Y'all will always have eyes on y'all. Even when you sleep, they're gonna have people with eyes on y'all. Especially for black folk, they waiting for you to do one single thing so they can hit you over your head with something. Or they can paint this image. Cause I see a lot of people want to talk about his tattoos and his dreadlocks and all that. Listen, that's stupid, right? Because I know I went to a church and they had a pastor with tattoos, and that didn't take away from his message about the Lord. I know doctors, they got dreads, man, smart as a whip. So they already be ready to paint this picture of us anyway. Like black folks, we got this, especially when you black and you rich, y'all only got this percent of messing up, bro. This is how much y'all have to mess up this much before they try to take everything from you. Y'all don't have the same, and I hate to make this about race, but a black athlete, a black superstar, they don't have the same leeway as other people. We just don't. And we have to realize that we don't have the same lead. We can't make the same mistakes that somebody white would do. We don't have that luxury. We got to be careful what we do. We got to be more careful because the quicker they gave us this money, give y'all this money, it'll be the quickest they take it from y'all. And I hate to use race thing, but it's serious, you know, because just like not too long ago, like I don't believe in domestic violence at all. at all. A man should never hit a woman, but they had a dude, a black dude. What's his name? Hit his. Well, I think he headbutt or something in the what you call him, suspended as he should. White dude beat the hell out of his black girlfriend. White boy beat the hell out of her. Nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, man, you gotta be mindful, man. To all you youngsters out there, man, do better. When you know better, you do better, man. And we gotta start and parents, we gotta do a better job at home. We gotta raise our babies, man. We can't sit around here and let them raise themselves and listen to hip hop music. Then we want to blame it on hip hop when they do something stupid. No, 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 no. We gotta stop being lazy. We gotta do the work. We got to be parents to these kids. We got to discipline these kids and do right by them. Community the same way. If somebody tell your kids something in the community and they doing something bad, don't get on an adult. Ask what happened. And then get on your kid ass, you know? So at the end of the day, we got to do better. Um, this is episode 6, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. This is your boy App G. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're on my YouTube channel. That's 163 The Ville Podcast. Same as on Apple, what else? Spotify, wherever you can get your podcast. I'm on there, man. Just type my name in 163 The Ville, DA The Ville Podcast, man. Once again, I'm your boy FG, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Shout out to all my new subs. Shout out to everybody looking at my analytics and stuff like that. Shout out to Germany. Shout out to especially America. Shout out to everybody who support your boy, man. I'm gonna be dropping more content for y'all. And so yeah, man. When you see me, man, fuck with your boy, man. Peace.